nakasalili Melko. Jai bang kajiangan dan sama jai program and mesang dran watch kasarawi pen dran indi and sampa International Women's Day o imen bagi kajai den ya jai bang bajang dekat odan kenim ong ni lo ang berjengata may bang bagi Sister Christina Elias and patap forward. Esansan ng Samajay program medulong ng berjengata pambajang isistan kantel kan ong irelo ko magkapit kila COVID cancer tasawan sumaw talumong chaykan nan arin COVID-19 patpacho sampa ari Sister Christina
lumaran sa una sa rawianan lu keralaut sili saktual dan paisak lumaw arumuran mabukaj Mary kacingko na batame koros o matang masalang nankani mo insutiyayo memi ni kailan nanayo ni mo sakaraya kwen Ramawi Elizabeth ni Elizabeth arongata an Mary Ramawo seryo pamokitan ang kapete Elizabeth aritrakilang ay sarawi o ngilaw ta pacawanong Mary. Komet pa'y raliyakan. Met yasanay sarma kompan kay buiti. Tama sa ang kapurya mo iwaj, uyawikin yang. May nanay kang kachinpas kitong ray. Paniyay sa wacha makom Ramawi yang. Serpalan anang kapetiyaj pamakit kita aperan. Comment pa'y pwede ang uposan, mamasan ang kauno, pan pwede kita rin. Comment pa'y pwede ang uposan, mamasan ang kauno, pan pwede kita rin. Chay kachinan lao kupura pukokan koros pukokasambal kan koros mama naman chay sapal ki tajumalan ki Puko kasampal kan koros. Nagchay kan kachineo kiyang sapon machay warang kan. Yang achay chon tatong kan. Sapon machay sari kan. Konto kata achay kan. O koros nagchay kinewo.
Ang supisach, liman bagi kejayaan beri jaman, Iran Benini Daramas in Ukraine kan me batchpacho nan kapwa nan maun o pagi kauno coach and kachkiya Iran purple child nan Pitmenpagi Kajayan Chaman Iran ako Magkapit sila kilar Sumawan cancer Nan Pohnpei O dagin Pohnpei Anzo bisech imen bagi Iran lagan Magkachkita pajawanto kanten Anzo bisech men bagi isistan kanten kanen buyawi Mia listio Nagpacho Puwes ang gilgilala Mara ni Iran ako Nakabit sila talang Kabit sila kilar COVID, cancer Isang walong Chaykan Chaylan Kajan Tamalir na Nakachaylong Yachakayat Mesanzan Angelina Primo Adelina John de Lampin de Noah Tricia Elgenberger Ensa Abraham Reagan Henry Joyce Philip Toff Simon Ham Peter Rayner Mina Rospel Timos Inoke Deason Simon Kasma Soram Arena Elias David Wenster Olcher Former Governor in Pohnpei Honorable John Issa Temagio esta Ligoy Ferdinand Pwede yaran kasang buwanong li ay bilmen perang kajaman kapit sa letalan. Former President and Pohnpei Womens Council, Susan Nasos. Oiray lang ang chorus. Meloy ang kawan and COVID kapisilet domum chaykan pagkitak chaylen pil chamanir at ang chay dolor.
May coach sa match kalangan. Kung watching ko rin at sumal kapakabakan o kalalang mga wikage. Niyachkin bachuan katete sapan at posan sa panmamunyeros makonggachin kaya sa tasang mela. Konggachin ka kailata at koporoporki meriach makapinsale talarkan panyang niya sa tarang Kristus Jesus mapingachin niya yang kongwi o ngay sarawi, yeyas o kakaon, coach mejaman, para hindi koros o kolaja. May ngach kaon, kung gach kiyang riyach koros, konmal pachapach.
Chorus ni Pasabong. Kamaray ni giray, maray soju.
Rankak konmal nagagawa. Marasaan o may sarawi.
Yech pinriyaw, miyaat, mabchen pajolong, chaylen pin chaman, Dr. Raleigh Jim, sa Pohnpei State, Dr. Livingston Taolong, sa Mabasam National Government. Kalangan. Kalangan ng senator ko, Mia Maray session ba dyan? Sa lugulo kayo kumain dyan na opening mawar. May katrin sa pang kalangan. Chay bangkat na, nasab na chay iregaryaw ng program o yay welcoming remarks the kasam yung sang Vice President and Pohnpei Womens Council Maria Tondrete Inertia.
Lilia Corusya. Unitan dola na cuma sa karata. Pwede bang kumpulin sa mga coach? Nagkaskat nanda. Pajawan wonki. Likan kelakay. Nakani madalanim. Chorus. Kalian siya. Ito pajawan nanda. Ilman wonki. Kalian government. National, state, o municipal, Palace Blue Chorus, executive, legislative, judicial, Obil Waunaki, First Lady Pohnpei, o iralkan ng mga non-government and state na working department chair kan, iralkan chorus na patrosang ng way kan, na wiya kaunan way, pali-pali siyukan, legislative, judicial, oval, executive. Pilman ki di labalangkan chorus na yang kajer language. Pilyan mo morso, ipajuan manogel, may kurna. Menwan ki iralkan Apmelan President in Pohnpei Women Council, President in Queen Kan Chorus, ayang Chair, Iral Queen Kan, Tron Queen Kan, o Iral Nagsuto yang Queen Abyang Pachota Language. Language, we are on kaparan kasampal, we out of the language, langata, langanan mo ipakon, o iharap o lalam na kajijiki. Break the bias, the challenge kajin. Kasorela sa pairalkan na niya nan pungan sa manaramas pang teli dan benene kan chorus obil kasambal kita dia kan nuya iyan ang benene dan ililin ang benene kan ang kak via Malaylay o Gurgoan. Puirailan kak, tatongki o wiyata, tanaynay mo, abag jailan bilkak, kung ki oralat, mapit. Women in leadership, daliyakan mabang ilimawan ng panaynay. O bilkak kaluweti sa waseta kapisalet na uyuyawi na isang language. Image mayman ulian biti Pohnpei Women Council o kasamo chorus magkasta Pachota language o jailan peraparan o gabi-gabi nga Bukokan may masasaler na may bamit Pachoto o wikira language dabil mas walo e uyaran kasampaliw nakalangan ng legislature iraikan me kabina o iraikan me kara tatawag siya po ita wiki language mas walo uyala meron makasampan ba uyala ranin ko malalite ang John Pohnpei Womens kasampan language Thailand ka bola Malay para paran ko na edin way tutuk na samba uyata ranin li ang uyat ko malalite ari image may mulyanti liyakan the Pohnpei Women Council lugay covers na tatok kasampan language aralan.
Ananganan Iner budget. Dekat nang kaniyem, perkajung pra, yan patong wanagis. Yan bilkak patong yang nan, paralapin program agenda namiya. Mowat, unay kan patong yang nan ipukon, William Pohnpei Women Council, Upukon Teyu, the MC. Ay men mo uya patang sa kapitan wow kan. Uya cuma sa kapitan kay poni. Dan prensa macay coach. Cuma sa kapitan kay poni yung wow. Bang prena repson kon tuon peyu. Wow la. Dan prenisonan ko. Sabul marikan nananak nangan niya ko wow na kayo na iso seriso sabul marikan lang kaibigan pares ng paliensya pwede ki wawad nabanap kaibigan ng modso o government wow choror ong samna chay kapinak and Wayne Pohnpei Honorable Reed Oliver o First Lady Jen Oliver. Ako na ang channel pilwaon ko isang kopong laban-laban Pohnpei o i-write isang kopong kan, Associate Justice kan. Speaker Marvin T. Yamanguchi o William Pachay kan ng Pohnpei State Legislature kaysa pilwaon choro ang Mayor and Colonia Town o local chief executive kan, mayangagi ray local government sang pumilap dahil ka pangamarang. Wow na kay Melen Patroton, Director and Munmuni, the campaign person mo, Winsler David, yung amoy yung tatawagan mo lang ko imunmuni kan. Wow na kay Patroton, so ko pong nakalap and Waynu, Mrs. Antonia Primo Moses. Waon ki kaunan queen hendia kan kwa Rusia mayang kaj tapacho rangot. Pitone se waon ki ray mapulapulkan kami namin naniray masapulman kita jungalan kiyana choror iray melagay tabakan John Pohnpei unsak iray lakan magay Pohnpei lekin Pohnpei members the William Diplomatic Corps Asansan Mia William Embassy kan navan Pachang Kachayan nan we watch Pin Mia William Opis kay Mia managap member William to FSM Department of Justice Mr. Alec Tale Opis kan Opis in United Nations UNICEF, UNFPA, MIA, William NSPC, IOM, Tuna Commission, o Batikan Quarters, Mayang Patch Pohnpei, NGO kan, the non-governmental organization kan Quarters yan, Kalangan and Media, Social Media, V6AH o Micronesian Productions, Pilkapung o wow kiray guest speaker kan the presenters mesansan ng Tamnajay program. Pwede kupuran mo lang wow hinilan Pohnpei ay bata puko watch hintuan e batch kiyang dekan nan kani First Lady and Pohnpei. Pilbachang sa kapitan ko sang Vice President in Naricha. Pilmenuya ay kapung mulatak ong Rusia o kasam ong Rusia. Mayang kach Pachoran which Tran and Dian Sampa, the International Women's Day. Asan niyan inabchen the Vice President sa karatan kosong niyaranap the team and bagwach niya kajiji break the bias the kachikalan the ireti and someone sabay kan quarters upuko and li naniwala mau and pasan and apoy barak onapag o Manila na nanson kapitsalit COVID na kapitier sampa. They break the bias, women in leadership, achieving an equal future in a COVID-19 world. Ranan diyan sampa, nan barwach, pan wiaran yung pataba, benenong kachay men Pohnpei. Ni February 3 sa Kriyaw, 2022. Gage Officer and Pohnpei Women Council, Pacho, current Governor, Reed Oliver. Niyaj pan William kachay diyakan on courtesy visit you. Rawatch kan wiyawi pa records. Ariniyaj, Pacho, Rangkapina, Amazanian kachay bang kachdongana na no pisin kapina, Mie kosonet yung Pacho yer tuonen kapina jepet, Iban sign kosonet wo ranwatch. Ariyayi Yawi. Governor Oliver, on February 22nd, 2022, signed our Kosonet State Law 10-75-22, Maran which we allow a legal holiday on Pohnpei State. Ayun we are Onkage, Kaperin, Agage, Pilimotion Tarano, sabi sila tama sa Pampacho 1, Kapung Munata. Kapung Munata kong Iran legislature kan, ni kamanaman lang Kosonet watch. Kapung Munata kong Kapina, Karyang Kapina, the administration watch, sang ni kamanaman lang Kosonet watch. Menet Iban William Tigich officer kan on so ma sen wiya chungod kapung mulatag ong li Rusia iray lagan maging nananjiyang lobby ong iray members in legislature iray lagan menananji maging wiya kapakap telolo ki kosonet wajan pass why mangi nan sampa tin songwatch area. Every nan week watch me right 7 kay beban patchen chay nikasarawi ben Fran and Lee o irelo ko ban patchen wanta yawan kasampalin International Women's Day taran and Lee sampa o tama ko sunod watch yawan na kasampal ong kachay. Aban san when the guy kachay kan patcho one that nazani me kusulat yung men advance. At when tami patcho one already sang ray semen kam me ay nenet wiya megoch kasampan o lap kahit tension Pohnpei. aban to megot yung FSM ban kapin warki takichay liyakan the leaders in FSM niya chay ban pache iraylo ko internationally and worldwide. Ariyay ban ito mo ko iray miya semen kay baban kag pachowanta ni visited takot Northern Quezon Network o International Women's Day. Sa isang machay program, meron which lakap o niyet panguya workshop days o tuwan non-folder kan miya copying program agenda ma soja ayaj pinakapukad miya extra copy Rengak pacawan yang kumai morning tea the ajaiban punyo o sakin mason miya coffee o pilawa me kauna bata wherein pali so was International Women's Day Kapilan Pohnpei Reed Oliver Ban Pajang Kachay o iya bang kachkita ko sa leto. State Law Number 107522. O bileo masen sang dug lang dug tanan lang the Speaker Honorable Marvin Yamaguchi. Yung presentation pansang UNICEF on health o ni komanen sa was pwede schedule ay nilin coach o pilmiya dyan pagpag may patulong let ni may isang on irayla kan patikan may min patulong chay bang kap jiyang wen kap quarters chay len kap accommodate the rengak yang patulong chay o komanen sa was may yang iray wili apen Imon Winnie, mami presentation pilan sa umaw. O schedule miya, ma chay anana benen kamakit when delay ni taglong akakuyawi. O video presentation may na ng kasampuan di access to justice mo ban sang and then staff attorney mo nang ko puminakasan. Emotional Intelligence, some Department of Education, Climate Change, bileo irainin ng kasampuan medj. Wearing components was Pohnpei Family Protection Act, medj pa pajotasang men chay chuan sabi machay attorney Marcella Chang, o Australian DVAD Pacific Women Unit, Beban, Kaimsak, Agenda and Brown Watch. O dekan ko na kanyang First Lady. Poyaki presenters ka na ban mix agay ban men Pohnpei agay men Kusay agay men Y. Tragajin Kupara. Pwede presentation ka chay ban ka soup nan wigwatch alangan lakap ni mas payo palimensang sang clock 12 pachola uyaran yung pran kasampan ong lian sampa kapakap and lian sampa the International Day of Prayer pan uyawi hosted sang dianalam kan ray maban apali o wasa nonon momotson Pohnpei the Protestant Church nan Colonia. Pweniyaw ta sa kansawas panuyaw wasa miya lunch pang kaon na batang o chay bang kachlang nan Padikariyaw and program lakap ye FSM Early Childhood Development Plan project yo me UNICEF batch yang FSM okjay Pohnpei Women Council pilpayamaw po UNICEF pilata Pohnpei Women Council and we are NGO the non-governmental organization yo mabanewong Rai UNICEF pali UNICEF o FSM o apali program which niya pan patrosili patro nagwekan. Area Egypt program, KPSF program which maban chip dakap paliso was. Nikaunap mas limau. Iyeran na kwaris kaskasik. Dan parwach puegi kapan memie on COVID o kapit seleta kan akich Pohnpei Women Council kamelele me ekoneng en mie eusawen mokit bebanakis kait en kap akis kaperen apinian sa watch en kakuchungata pelien person mo the health fitness ribuegi irawach siya yak yu bang yawi softball. Area me chief umpire in game which ay lewong sports. Apiech katan eten yak yu which goodwill freestyle softball. Kusone deuche only one rule and the rule is there is no rule. Freestyle. Every me younger you that we are all-star player men mass menta mapisong batch Sirisa Patrolar kung mangi the patro one ko so natin yak you kan priya mo ikita po kung disqualify. Yak you watch when kaperen ay me patro one ki freestyle me wewe ki chief umpire ye secretary ng Pohnpei Women Council the Berno and ki malaman UNICEF and overrule the right chief umpire in sports ka. Every so to strike out. Ibang back silu tabit payo masujalet ibang janget first base safe. May binmen pa wasang first base ngay janget third base teo safe. Every asansa ng program iragtin queen kan KUNK pan team 1 versus team 2 sabi team 1 yay diyan adam team 2 we are diyan Mercedes o diyan patch pen uniform and diyan adam yay pachapach diyan Mercedes green KUNK diyan Mercedes wait diyan adam pan siya yung diyan Mercedes o diyan the first game. Game 2, Team 3 versus Team 4. Team 3 yay diyan matananim pacha diyan way diyan man o matol checkers color red color way chacha versus diyan kichi diyan onon lang diyan proy diyan kichi kan uniform black the janjan. Game 3, Team 5 versus Team 6. Team 5, yay Dutch indigenous women, diyan Talonier, diyan Nanwen, o color purple. Tuanjana. Team 6, yay Zumba 1, Rainbow Zumba, Ladies Club, diyan Education, my color orange. O game 4, yay Team 7 versus Team 8. Team 7, Ye Lian Mokillo, Lian Pungilap, Lian Colonia, Women with Disability, color yellow. At Team Walu, Team 8, Maye Chippeya, Lian Person Mal, or Lian U Organization of Women, color blue. Time Mabanta Talk. Ining Jasilu. Karusia winners. Momon Kosantin freestyle yak yu mo. Pilsaisan magjay pilkajin kapananar Queen match point piluyaki sen kaparenen program in Badwatch. Moy yang Queen and Pilata sabun maray taray chungon Queen. Kategori ka ng Pilipilwatch moy yang Queen and pain Kasanti watch and tete kaiten and Pohnpei Women Council on Pilipilin level. Eka kuya role model men, nono mao men, kaunen penene, every match may yang Queen and pain Pilata. Pagpag on tran yang yu Queen kan the family float you, baban chip sang pacho sang picks track and field, or store sakan bang kapachata o rail Queen kan bang catch dale o kapar pao yawi sang picks pacho tila na nose in Spanish wall yan so may yaki yung band. Mo man programmen ni Kaunabo. Mia judge me banja jack isinayakan me yang matong o pagpag kong kumain all-star kan amay puko and yang umpire kacay cheerleader the coach yaramen chay moitang iray nakan di yakan no. So, saya pakai yang you and we are irrelevant players from. Owen tangka kuyawi, apoy kuyawi ni kanene omen. Chama wow, may nanin kasampay. O karusiya, kaya no, o pinche yumech. Day 6 that niare mas Walu. Fransa Rawiyo Soja Mewach Kosanti. Niara Mas Walu Ye Iran and International Women's Day. O Kapakon Panwiyawi, Gachti Panwiyawi, Nan Colonia Township. Program Panchep Clock 12. Pagpakong Karusia. Sa Pagitar, Mayor in Colonia, Moitata. Set up in tent kan and kakuyawi ran mower nieto. Portman Monday mas isu niet chay vampren sabat penawasaj. I skipped Monday. O palimensang chayban preng FSM Early Childhood Development Plan workshop paligariyaw maban wiyawi ni palimensang niyet kombanen sowas pan wiyawi o programen sowasan prano koban pache behe STG Ending Violence Against Women and Girls, Palisowas, and Nia. O Mia, Metwajaran, which Pagpag sang Department of Justice, human trafficking. Ang service magkak may yang manakap medechan kak kapese pali me abuko. Niare mas wadu ye utan ran san machain ran o kachtiba yawi nan Colonia Township. Ewe pui tabuko ki pen arrangement sa maray tent o men kachilay. Arresto chuka santi isme anki ewe slot. First come, first serve. Chayden pi nanjiyang ewe pene. Pwede tuwa dyan ang bar pacholaro me set up tent. Right prala miye nakamokit. Ay so me tent kan sete rak chay nanjiyang pachowanta te set up tent kan luma. Pagpagpag o I ran watch niyet mas wadu may yang iraila kan me nechki me prasen take out weniare me prasen take out mangin pen liya kan te me te tipso me te tauros dengan kapach anti-craft one stop, one set, business kan pil may iyan sa umawan ko then fundraising. Opisin mayor, may tata, business and kak yawi try. Pagpag ang pinakan, the business kan. And may yang mowe when kak designated on kachay puinenli. And nanjin sa way open ang business ka. Esansan nan sa machay program, Merano, Brichita, Kosong, Panuyawi, the opening prayer, Dian Mercedes kan mapukoki. Welcoming remark, Pansang Pohnpei State First Lady, Mrs. Oliver, Mawiyag Samna Child Keynote Address, Mrs. Juana Lawrence, Mieu Sakarata, Pan Sang Mrs. Antonia Primo, the Chief Justice NU on Women in Leadership, Bileo Sakarata Sang, Director in Pohnpei State, Pani Anderson Mao, and Arvin Winsner David. Pani and UN, Yayo Lemon Magatan Giyap Van Harden, Imewiya UN Resident Coordinator. And Kapsansan when office wajay and then kasampan kita kamanaman lan kosunet tempranin li abenir per office waj menen on menet perki makakiyang pache chay pranin li miyo pinsakarata sang ambassador in US Ambassador Carmen Cantor, Bileo sang Australian Ambassador Joe Cowley. Sa karata sang William Ray Women with Disability, the Moni Paul. Mapapajang Rado Yamasan ye isanangan in Nech. Science and Match reigning of Pohnpei International Women's Day Queen. Yet Mumoy. Kwarus ye, hiray Queen, mapilipiltakan, hiray Queen kay. Jay, napulog ko na ray. Tuwan kasanti memiye, is friend Queen puko, maban, Gachki, titled 2022 Pohnpei International Women's Day, Pampachosang participation and queen. Benya queen ime esansal muwen ya may kachlong pacholong mi sign-in sheet. Miye magigilele patpachowan benya queen mayang uchungata workshop kan sang brand kayu olen mi mas kwadu. Benya queen mayang kapayata yakyu oni uniform kan. Kapachatan float the parade pampiluya yung men kapach yamon kapachatan waren queen ko. Risang pukach may pang kapach pele o pan kasalisalatan ni wadu mais queen ko. Nauya International Women's Day 2022. Warin mo palisawas, warin sa karata, danasan kan, chayba kachlang nan kamoich isang queen nandiya kan. Pisainsan nan program, isutraban watakata pisainsan nan program kaya ragitian presentation ta kamoich kan. Macam sang diyan nalan pachutilan Pohnpei Girl Scout. So we have member in Pohnpei Women Council, puin pula-pulio match or repaki, permenyang pache. Apoy kiran ko, we watch we are International Women's Day, chay bag waitang iray pula-pulkan ng kap pache. Sari mo man kaya team program. Senan si wenat kap pon bag sawas sang office kan ang appointment planen di. Ariyayi dagan ko nang ganyayi mo man agenda mamiya so watch and zansan me kak wogitak mamiya na men pachang mamiya me sulaga puya kikarepe ang chay kakadjust. Me ewiya tarapuyan the dog, tipsawin the dog, apagak change at any time. Ariyayi match me kairala pali program in Pali Mesa. Mie si pilawakis coffee tea me kini pwede akan kau na bata o morning tea ay men bagi Pohnpei Women Council chay sawas o apali pwede usak Russia chay bang komban ke bine chay isak chay friend sa ba ranwet Amen. Ulianti kichay, Pohnpei Women Council, o kasamo Kapina and Wayne Pohnpei, the Honorable Reed Oliver. Piniyay sa wacha, napachang kichay, Radwood, yay, Ambassador in Saban, Mishikami Ishai, chay kachkiyame ulo po naman. Chay ninin koneng kapung, pwagi MPC kan, arben pachang chay nanggarwach om Kasarawipen International Women's Day. Kalangan ng kapina. Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you, Ambassador Ishay, for your presence this morning. We had just concluded the first part of the program this morning, which was the candle light offering. And as you can see, we have candles still lit up. That this is to represent those who have passed, the loved ones who have passed due to COVID or due to cancer or other cause, especially during this time of the COVID pandemic. At the same time this morning, Mr. Ambassador, we also remembered in our prayers, in our opening prayer this morning, the families of those in Ukraine who are going through such difficult time for the war that is ongoing in Ukraine. So that was the ceremony this morning. So now we would proceed on to the afternoon session. In our program, one minute, please. What we have in the program is a presentation or remark by the Honorable Reid Oliver, the Governor of the state of Pohnpei. And let me just reiterate a little bit of what we, the women this morning, what was said in regards to the passage of this important law. And the Gankor Korean way. So what was this morning, I did mention about a courtesy visit that was held by the officers of Pohnpei Women's Council on February 22nd, 2022. And this is a date that I will never forget. It's 2/22/22. So it's very easy to remember. So some of the officers of Pohnpei Women's Council, this is our normal, what we usually do before International Women's Day, is we request schedule a courtesy visit with the governor. And so we went, and then the governor kindly said, after this short remark visit, we are going to go into the governor's office. On my desk, there is a bill awaiting my signature, and I will sign that bill today. The media was there taking photo, and I saw in the news that came out of from Pohnpei Governor's office that we were all smiling and looked normal. But other photos that were taken, it showed very clearly, some of us were going like this. It was so emotional, such a happy feeling. I even choked up, and as I was thanking the governor. That bill declared March 8th as International Women's Day holiday for Pohnpei State. So let's again, please give big round of applause. Rigid medyo pamen mo. Amoy na sa memen na po kada kaselen. Tema pinniwalo pit kaselen. Kailangan din kapina pinniyan sa water. At the same time, we did first let us recognize the presence of the Honorable Marvin T. Yamawachi, who is the Speaker of the 10th Pohnpei State Legislature. It is under his leadership that this bill declaring March 8 as International Women's Day, it was during his administration that this bill finally went through. It's worth noting that it has been 4, probably 5 long years since Pohnpei Women Council have tried and attempted and tried to get this law passed, and it keeps returning from the Pohnpei legislature. So finally, this year, we can now all celebrate March 8 as a legal holiday for International Women's Day Pohnpei. So kailangan ang kapina again, o kailangan ng dogan na lang the Speaker Marvin T. Yamawachi. So 저희 잘 믿어보는 got them. Jai bangkat lang ng program once a week ben William Gichaiti or Duka Kapina and Arbo Reed Oliver. Sabi mo mo yan so.
Kailangan ko muy, Madam President, Pohnpei ko sa ichungol sa karatan kay buni wow kakatapat at wow kan lapoy po tar moy apoy ki ichungol sa karatan de pajotan nilang ay ichungol wow melel Tan kuburin kot Pohnpei koros. Wow, tan kuburin sama jai mon sa pako, iso ko, legend ko, nanalam ko, nan kariye ko. Labalabakan koros nan palian tiyak, oloiso, soriso. Labalabakan koros nan palian mumonso. Labalabakan koros nan palian government, take sangaja national government. Pohnpei State, Municipal, o Karusi. Wawat, kung ranwat wasaksit, kayin pajon, kuya wawla, dan kubran, dekan, matalinim, nan kanyi matalinim, Honorable Speaker and Legislature Case and Wing Pohnpei, First Lady, nan kasang messenger kayo, isung ko pong lagalagin mo isonu, President din Winin Lee and Pohnpei Womens Council, yang agi officer kan, at sa punmatay, Winin Lee of that kachikibanan, Frankfurt. Wow, and His Excellency Ambassador Michikawa-san. Minasama, ohayo gozaimasu, okaeri nasai. Agent Wow and Dr. William and UNICEF, Mr. Jeffrey Ng, who staff in UNICEF, the Patent Child Mission Ranwood, Director, Patent Child Mission Ranwood, Director Gamban Rosenwald, Director Wichner David, the Cronin Pig. Agent Wow and Kuburan, Idabalakan Mebiliankat Wasaksit, Sister Christina, Director Christina Elne, or Habalabin Wakan, the Katwasaksit Ranwood, First Lady Gan Mebiliang Patent, Abmelin, Deacon Forest, Kataban Kuburan Likan, or Nankani Metalini Ranwood. Kalanin Kumi, Madam President, Nan Japan Kawewo Namian, I mean Patolin Sakargitan, Yansobi, Ipatolum Wasakset, Idin Patolin Salon, Ipatosili, Lito, Cronin Pay Kalepo, Manakap Mentalion and Shet Green, Okilria Mental. So many Yawi. Speaker Katlum, Ajumal Cover Pelagis Caroline. While getting Kupura, Madam President in Queen Lee and Pohnpei, Kasaleta in Kapanagis in Inim Kosompan, I take it on Queen Lee, half on Pohnpei Musap, so I take it on Tiwit. I will cover a parking with Tea and the Tanpa. Katapat, child getting money when Kosompan. Kasung pen, Prane when Kapateng Samta, Abel Kitai, Pohnpei, and Kakatorola, Aye no Poita. Essential non February, Friesa Priya, Tar Riaki, Friesa Priya, Tam Essential Sangre, Madam President. Aye was in the wood Memie. Abina Katola is Muri, the Moen, who Katoin Sakartita. Was in the wood. Utan pin katosang reliyat. O utut be, nelen sangren, uinin ko busanet ka, kamueta, o pasanetik, nasen kanda kakapali, usin not what mewia, legislature bill, nembe, siruriyaw, tas creation. O kabimut and toga speaker, o member in legislature case, nelen, Right, Senator Kande, catch Nanti show. Young, Ilila, which is good to and Kapoita. Orion, the science Nan. Fukoki, Cosinus Wood and Patrolum and Kubran, the speaker Keisha, Yea, Honorable Vice Speaker, Senator Macari Mikel, Honorable Senator Shelton Ned. Kabin wat ikaparpart me ebonen toko korps nelen kuiniliyakan nantarakan me apa pali kapkapayata tato tamag jai ikatsi ranwood kajang likan nanbengi cocktail korps area naimet kajoan sakargita kajang kan nan kusyun mesaila Uyala, supplement Pohnpei Kusinet, Nente, Isa, Lee, Line, Isisa Climau, Line Raise Korea. O Tame Madam President, Asalatar in Kapanagis, Yee, the Taipan Kajin, Apali, Sang Harwood, Hotel Karto. Ibajon Kamelene, Kamumuenta Kusinet. Kamanda ko sunnet, table signing na ko sunnet, ememangay. Wasabi ko sumpanin, kapayata, apali, inangin, ko sunnet na kasanti. Ayayi, nagdalkat, nalaranwat, nan weekwood, nan workshop kat, Mentan ceptar kawat mobil kan tau-taulan kan karakan kan katoso. Mukit en mia kacat. Pagkusunet buat en kap mia lipuat. O katatane sapol metai way. Nelen sapol metai yeyas. Kedai ket dan rairen muai yun. Nelen buksam nas o sota nane men katamen. Muai yun kai te kintre kedai ketuki Teyang sapulman kita kapal misanta sapulman kita cuma lain keran buat lepita lumung te kabisale tisuma demi yesi bisanta saya terima ita demi ran buat kapaya kala kacoro besen kawiyata mugit kasakai rai troto dan pungan ini way government li o Ayai irokat mi katuan kamele deh, nombok itu kuat ran pukat, mele sang talian li, kan ka kapali, mobil kak sewaseta, minimum, dia bene, sewas bene, wew bene pergi, irokat koros pesansal, agam mele ne, kasih osre ujumen li, siapa dia buat kingkap pun, imen kaprela kuracai, nas Muin malau-lau pina kapakan dapat patukan kuburan juga unan kini ranut di speaker tapi puinin liakan aiso kis samalar de kalau di lian tunti kinka lopolok nibi mentana sungtron kiting mentana perinja awak the tiny colonia the sapalak na tolini masajikan koros na biyek simpi norin yayasin nas yayakan king lopolok nipil nan maywat washing machine na biya nan maywat rice cooker na biya nan maywat dryer solar butter rice kacota tonsin buat koyang cuy nimita ayai buklan mai koyi aisowat lakonen trailing cutting brand sakali yawasan trail cut to samye yawasan trail cut lale o yawasan trail kan cut lang lale wasabal na trail tatawtan run with envil kauna bata dan kauna bata mi katrowan sabal na trail na pula-pulka pina ka ini yang kajian saman rai pukat saman datok pukat koran kap yang katrowan wewe ki o yang katrowan kauna bata kusum pal peniro pukat nan tatok koro sekaranian natan sote sent atau tahu boleh sesuatu kap paita eri betul kap bil puya sabal na trail kapin om government lab innovation om embassy weikan om NGOs kan om government tekan nemiye yaral king sawas kilometer sinisen pun kap sose someone program the kataran lut ai ben patrol lagi ni kara-kara muracai dan kap kacang-kacang yang dirokat ini sangat kita ni kapan memang kamu mau tak kusundet saya ni lah kusundet ai wasa kusumbalen kama-kama kata-kata ki o apali iren kusundet tu buat kap ni kacat o liput o sabul matai gias and run with o patrol imen so teman obela me kusumbal ben kubukat kai debin te region away kubur berani kuepi essential kusundet yubiya ya ai bil kaporporti yang so te men lagi nan sawasakan ya dekat kato sang lipi agral kan lagi sabulman ki de chumalu fuko enangato sentka taite no beliela de katrot ki je tan pasanti sang wain lagi ong sen pukat agral kan nasanya ta opil kawit ki rai kan sang liki besawas ki de sen pukat tan sen pukat kap uyayan donpe lian donpe when kap mi kacat pasabulman trai geya sin donpe rawuk sang chu usai Yap, Guam, Hawaii, Satan, o waikikan chorus yang agi United Nations pun. Nami sa Washington sent. Agairan ketkiyang tanakan pungen sabul matay giyas. Pagtayte itawente pasantin ligiyo asote tarunte te farabian sabul matay giyas in tonti. Eri na ejungal kadota kapung buletan puramai. O tame miye kan kadota murinmet sabul mualo sin kadana tanay so koros tatem legislature. O national government o government taken yang kap correspond to Europe. Imen last kila ikan kacuan kapatanya itu mal sakarata when kakis kajem sakar kita we pen sabun na bata-batan ni pilakan ni lopolo ni winter rice ni gamnat ni sampo tayo sa malar tatawag yung DUC wo Pohnpei Utilities Corporation o chon tatawagan DUC ay so me ebuki waliyakan sila li me malawlaw mo yung rain me isimento walimen all me ebuki waliyakan sila nang sa karataan rano Patrowan, tuwan ko sumpalpen liya. Ranwat dahil kawawi ko sumpalpen li o naswalu yala ko siya. Aymen sa kargita po yung pachen. Dahil sa bulman ki li Senator Silliman. Dahil sa bulman sa legislature. Dahil sa bulman ki li yemen memenin katar labalat. Huwag matalinim. Dahil sa bulman ki Yemen Congresswoman Sang Wing-Chu. O bil son ko bung labalabin way so no o bil di kay ten mamal toto sa tika lekan an kani rajin ko di patrol kita robot nan jonta ta ebu wali kan silmen wat li ya kam no waragin ebu wali kan silmen wat te ka ko bura te bil meta women Senator Kanchen of Chai Kan Patawag Chai Uyala, the President in Lee and Pohnpei, the officer in Quinakan, the Shon Kopung Lagalag, the Vil Congresswoman, Emen Chai Utan Kosompa, a yet me Patrol Sakarkita, Nanpungan, every Waliakan Siliman, also, a regional work the boat Lee, Lee the Kalap, but Patoni, Imaman the Chendasa. Nang sakaratan rano ipajowan sakargita me. Nanewe ran in tato. Nanewe week sumpung onon sumtar. All epku waliakan silmen. Rapatosan ng generator. Rapatosan wasan wiyatay. Wasan excavator. Wasan tako. Wasan me pulipul. Wasan me grease. Wasan me samchocho me. Soto makala. Nanimulan Euran, all Pukat Chorus, Tan Satala, Yarai Chualim, Tamaraban Muya, Raban Patrowan Sang, overall, shoot, stuck in Asmaki Lole, Asmaki Lip, Chorus. Tamawiya Usang Mo, Epatodian Liam, Yarai, Tuntogan PUC kan. Patrol tu jo, patrol la susu. Aisyah merabil patrol tadi arai chualim. Dia sin cuma berkah benda. Arai patrol merla, dimension illa ka pranin tato. Mia uniform cup, lopolok taro bilkanat. Mia overall, mia semakin laleliki. Mia set, mia rausis. Eri Nanimun we kriyaw. Paytaken buat. Ejumal paytaken rano. Ong right me puyak waliakan silmen. Cek bukat. Sabal menit. Dia cek bukat. Enis cengal. when malkat katin wami meis mo konen chem kawan tokala warang in 20,000 BC epuki wali akan silimen Peraim na wiyata ujung atau karayan contoh tau ko enka leleton yang rai pasan konta tau. Na so de generator you dan minie so de liya you dan kap mumugit imonu dan kunila school dan cetukak school ranu ti sitan dan patwa sanse pogi ejungal ngi cetukak kap patwa. Liya ko ujung 20,000 BC ki karabena rai kap. Eri ejungal sakartan ranu ko kapin dan kuburan Madam President Nelly, Sion ko question in Pohnpei, Nelly, Honorable Speaker, John Boris Puniliakan, mal kapka. Ulian ti karyawan kabna, katpatuloy yan sukset, o sigadi, katuan kamelen na, Honorable Speaker, kantil uyayo, sakarang tatanasin mo rin jumal. Aymen, uya jumal kapil. Malim katlang mo, at jumal lutud, tanmiye, ay so koros, owen kap koros. Kailangan ko rin legant, kailangan ko rin nankini. Honorable Speaker, Madam President, siyon ko pong trial chorus raan ko ba success. Re-arrange mal sa karataw, kailangan ko rin.
Kailangan ng kapila ang limasan yun kasampuan nasan kaparan o gis liyakan memprel William gis liyakan William tekent anem nangkanin First Lady Corbusier Chay prel kachkiyan katuwanan kapina eu kapon Dan sa machay program, ye masan yu, sang the Honorable Marvin T. Yamaguchi, Speaker in Pohnpei, 10th Pohnpei State Legislature.
Kailangan, President, amone iban kadro pinagyan pada sakaratan kapengulang Anthony orang kurang kalau aku show orang ki dan sama dengan ini kapelang ini korus dia promosi orang ki kapelang Pohnpei Honorable orang ki karya kabinet dan ada semua orang ki dan Israel ko dan government perlu dia ada dengan orang ki dengan metodologi yang ket dapat buat kan korus yang ket dan penguahan ki President o officer diapan. Ibilmen aja kabinet o wawan ki dan ambassador Japan jadi excellency kami o kuliah ban UNICEF o kali kan korus yang aja kan. Ipatroto when patrowanto antal ranmau kuliah di badan legislature kaisap o wilayah ranmau. Ibadrawan be Aisyamut legislature kat tempat pertenan uya kubur mai ban warong radio kan uya kubur uya kan Ibadro tau vice speaker be kuliah ni Aisyamut kan time shop uya dia so be Ibadro ta kami Ibadrowan dalam bahasa ni ranwut Meden Maswan kacang paling ran legislature younger kamanata question na ji kamanata o legislature essential me mas walu yana ra de Ocean berkait pintoto dia ranen alete dia ranen toto harap jejen toto pikenanan aime legislature patpatawa na show jejen toto enhance ye even kasih patolong patah kabalan ansyo mata bali dan mas walu daya niar Iban yang material kabinet patron kesempadan di dan patron tamu dan legislature di silman asyik. Asyikban siapa mana nangkar kedua isyak ye itar dan terpendi usus dokan sistem ye madam the miss kemekualan nangkar kedua kami ada mungkin bukan tapi ada run with we get policy Orisa essential way to kureta asawa yei naisi salamo ne salami tapi buya senator ancho bis for bisalam morito sam yei madam Magdalena Walter oranut essential itu untuk masanya itu terpakai jadi siluman yang kontrol dan memotin legislature kanjo mati legislature kemudian patroan dan legislature itu dari siluman bosan-bosan dari siluman ini kita melakukan kepalung kami berpatroan Kuitan toto non-government biaya kita tadi dan dia orang kongsian essential di bertiga atau itu pun kebenaran bantuan kuali dengan kesan ini memang dia bentar je mangkai bantuan ali fokus atau dan dia mana bukan seperti itu kuali dia kuali sebenarnya sendiri dan zon sin berani juga berani dan konsel dan way bagi dapat mampukan dengan rodo semacam itu. Essential kebenaran patroan de masyarakat dengan government ye model ko dunia yang ini essential John Popung Daisy David Johnson khusus dari ibu terus kebenar SIT itu legislature orang mo ye hospital aja jadi orang dan lebih dia John Popung aja nak terima patroan dan branch dua, apa branch dua government, legislature di kerja department dan malah kamu di kerja dan eksekutif kerja saya mendapat kali dan challenge Amerika yang kebenaran Pohnpei, Amerika dia kaitan nanti moral kebenaran kita itu essential Kuitan di dan sebelum baca Oimen patroan dan kajian kebenar dan legislature Obia actual paket money patroan kaitan dengan government kalian dia muncul dia akan kemudian sampai bukan lebih kurang nas itu money Aku cakap bukan cakap masuk di masuk cakap dan kawan dan kata kata. Jadi masuk sampai pada yang kau kerja di area Sarawak. Jadi coba Saya sudah pakai kasih berkaitan patroan berkaitan biar berusul. Berkaitan asawi, ye leader berbicara kata show mana ye kau nopot ya setasa. Hari Ron B hutan ini lap sangat dengan history power. Ibadah beli ye iba kamu beli saya. Itu berpatro asli nanti sebut. Oh, ini ben kegeramai, wala mo wala. Oh, toto nyuhitingin. Bisa berbaca kuita miaya. Asal daerah anda, jadi saya kasarori, jadi kita alih anenti. Yang ujung mata kameraman dan alih rani. Dari ibadah kuwi ibadah dengan saya sudah pan cuma dari kita ranu, kuwi saya sudah pan tak kena anjupis. Orang masa ni kamagan dia, kamagan dan ada yang nono mana, saya sudah kan, saya cuma tu. Kata macam kamagan dia. Yang paduan be quality yang an kaitan orang jadi harus biar isu ya pan doktor dia iman pas pada dia cuma dia pan ada teri terperangan dosa dia tak cari kamera ada teri harus yang menggunakan ada teri nasional doktor di polo di harus jadi mau itu rano kaca dia kan berkata Women cooking my then Shokana Moe, or Tepamat, but the top to a show. When a challenge on when the answer would the Pohnpei young here of Kamanaka, a time even when cooking, I didn't do one, we got idea and waiting when fish I or a Kamanaka ran, mash while you went to the legal holiday or waiting up. Sisters Day. Kailangan din patang president, officer, o parusya, dikon na pagiging president. O men muli man kay ay men bonus o ang pagiging lanso. Kapiliyang patya niya rano to patya may kailangan o karere.
Kailangan ng speaker, talagang kailangan ng prayer, kailangan ng 10th Pohnpei State Legislature, may bagita siya yung prayer, kaya ngayon na pala. May kapina, may speaker. Dia President ng Pohnpei Women Council, William Beach, dia akan batalagan na kanyang. Mempreng dia at kapung mulata ang sa mga administration. Beach dia akan kamelala. Masuk sa First Lady, masuk sa Mrs. Yamauchi. O socha uchpen rail senator kan bayang uchungata kamanala kosol netwat eso jama poita ibn ben wuliante kichni puinen diakan omen katawan meniay sa quarters kich diakan dan uchungata Koson natakan, koson tikan, sang state dan national, mepit kakairatan liyakan. Isa-isa sang masalan kapina o speaker. Buhay kasampanan din. Ran an International Women's Day, uyaran kasampaliyo, pairan mag kasanti, kacay diyakan, kacay din patchkipene, celebrate, puitakan memi. Pinian sa watch, chay din ka, check, yakapan kan memi, nan penini, nan kusam, nan way kan, wala kacay ka kuya. Pagkacay din ka sa wase, apali sa wankapan kan memi. Every day, kapina, kailangan o speaker. Isa-isa, ujupen kapina, ujupen speaker, first lady, kailangan ng first lady. O liyakan, no kan, mena ng Pohnpei. Pinmiya, pag each officer in Pohnpei Women Council, sa word patch kiyang area, liyakan, and way taken on someone irrit wedge met holiday or me congratulations the couple me pajowan sang Wayne Brook evenly may manokela akonel me let kachailan pinchaman nan sang majay lolo ye president and Chuk Women Council the Mrs. Christina Stinnett maybe kapit sila tanar. Management we have president and Chuk Women Council o iyew se patpajawan pene prana kay mone kapit sila tanar niye we have litu teso nidak ong puina kan Pohnpei o Chuk stame sa kapuya posen kap apali sa ngani retwe challenge Ari, nenen ongi kapare nong Pohnpei o i pananjiang kuin chailan bit sa wase Wayne Brook pues sansan me irai kau na premeniang sama holiday wajan ka mina dengan ko kacin kuprayan kis kawewe pajawan duwai buagi Irakasampan yung match o ambassador o irailakan na bacho ng kachayan rang which na may isang watch so to bacho one masin ng Pohnpei. His Excellency Ambassador and our friends that are still learning our local language, I would briefly just go over what was said, the remarks by our Honorable Governor as well as the Honorable Speaker. So for Pohnpei Women Council, we are very privileged, very grateful and thankful for the support that is provided to us by our leaders, especially this administration by Governor Reid Oliver and Speaker Marvin Yamaguchi. As I stated earlier, this bill, the holiday bill, has been in and out of the legislature for several years. So we are very grateful today, and as stated by our governor, the importance of women, our roles as mothers, is very important to our culture, our tradition, our family structure. And that was echoed by the speaker, Marvin Yamaguchi. So on behalf of the Pohnpei Women Council, I wanted to again state our pledge that we will continue to work with this administration for the betterment of the women and citizens of Pohnpei. Governor stated that passing a law is simple. the challenge is here. This is the beginning where us mothers, women, and everyone else will have to move forward to ensure that we deliver the intent of this law. On a personal note, I was in conversation with my sister from Chuk, Kikistanet, who was the late president of the Chuk Women Council. We were discussing this very issue as she was in quarantine in Chuk. So Chuk, Koshai, Yap, and Pohnpei, when we gather during the FSM Women Conference or in conferences that we go to internationally, these are some of the issues that we discussed. Several years back, both Kiki and I were in Guam. At that time, the lobby then was to get the states to pass the Family Protection Act. So when we came back, with the support of the Pohnpei Women Council, we were able to get the legislature to pass the first ever Family Protection Act, which is a requirement under the CEDAW. Chuk, I understand, is still working very diligently trying to get theirs passed. But Koshai State was the first of the 4 states to pass that law. This week, some of the topics, as you can see on the agenda, have to do with gender and family violence, Family Protection Act. We will be hearing from the Human Trafficking Division from the Department of Justice. So these are all in relation to laws that have been passed. As Governor stated, we are now starting, the challenge is here for us to deliver the intent of this bill. So with the presence of the Ambassador of Japan, we seek for your support. Pohnpei Women Council is an NGO organization, non-profit organization. Successful workshops, successful gatherings such as this comes from our request that we ask through the government, through the partner organizations to support such event such as this, especially 1 week long. So we are hopeful, very optimistic that our request for some funding through the 10th Pohnpei State Legislature, which Speaker mentioned that they are deliberating right now, will go through. So in advance, thank you to the passage of our request to the Pohnpei State Legislature. And kailangan to the Embassy of Japan and our other embassies that are on island, thank you to UNICEF. The support that we request are not only in monetary contribution, but in kind. And at this time, I also would like to take this opportunity to thank the USAID and IOM. For those of you who have visited our Pohnpei Women Council Center, in the back of the building, we have a newly renovated NAS, which is a traditional hut, and that was fully funded, including a huge water catchment and an outdoor sink, fully funded by the USAID as well as IOM. So, ako na yung bilobolob ki kalangan ki sawasang IOM. So in short, thank you, Kalangan and Governor, Kalangan and Masin sang Cabinet, Masin sang Speaker, Kalangan and Dugindangso, Senator Card, of Pizza Valley Workshop Watch. Lansab na jay program ay so what jay presentation you sang UNICEF Medpit Women's Health, Wiba Muitang, Irailakan, William Tobaluwach. Chef Dion, this is your time, so you may come forward. Thank you. You have a PowerPoint presentation.
Kasereri Mainko. First of all, I want to pay my respect to all the traditional leaders that are present today here. Honorable Governor Oliver, Honorable Ambassador Pam, members of Executive and Legislative. My name is Jeffrey Ng. I'm the officer in charge for UNICEF Pacific, UNICEF North Pacific Office that is overseeing FSM, Palau, and RMI. In addition to this role, I'm also a water sanitation and hygiene specialist for UNICEF. So today, I think all of you are right to questions like why organization like UNICEF that works for the well-being of children is actually here today to talk about women's health. Let alone someone with water and sanitation and hygiene background standing up here and talk about women's health. To answer your questions is inadequate access to water, sanitation, and hygiene pose critical health risks to all children, but not only to children. It also have critical implications to health, psychosocial well-being, mobility of women and girls. When water, sanitation, and hygiene needs are met, women, girls can go to work and can go to schools. That is why in 2021, we actually commissioned a menstrual hygiene survey in schools in partnership with the Department of Health and Social Affairs and College of Micronesia. My staff here today will be presenting to you the findings of that survey to share, not only to share about the data that was extracted from the survey, but also, most importantly, to make you aware of the challenges of menstrual hygiene that Pohnpeian girls are experiencing in schools, for your action as an organization for women and mothers. Welcome. Thank you so much.
First, I would like to pay my respects to the traditional leaders, again, Nanganyo, Mandalenium, and all of the government leaders that are present today, Governor, as well as First Lady, Chief Justice. I want to first acknowledge that the topic that we're speaking of today is not one that is traditionally spoken about in front of men and women together in one place. But I'd like to first acknowledge, first and foremost, our important role, not only as mothers, but also as fathers in the care of our children. I'd like to first begin our presentation today in explaining or maybe sharing what is menstrual hygiene management. The definition that our organization would like to share with us today is that menstrual hygiene management is when women and adolescent girls are using clean menstrual material to absorb or collect blood that can be changed in private with the use of soap and water for washing when required or as required, as well as access to facilities to dispose of these materials. I know that those are big words, but I think essentially the women in the room understand this. And this is what menstrual hygiene management that we're speaking about today. I'd like to acknowledge first that I'm only the mouthpiece that's speaking on the survey that was taken in 2021, but it was actually the young women at the COM immersion internship that actually conducted the survey in the high schools here in Pohnpei. And this was conducted in May 2021. I'd like to share with you today just the major or high-level findings that were found. The first and foremost important finding that this survey was able to collect was that there was a high percentage. The first question was that what are the challenges that young girls experience when having their period in school? The first and foremost was that a lot of them, a majority of them experience pain. And the women in the room understand in terms of menstrual cramps. The second one that was highlighted was pads, the lack of pads. Schools provide toilet paper, but not pads. So when young girls are having their period at school or experiencing their menstrual cycle in school, they usually have accidents where they stain their clothing, and most often, if not always, they're sent home. The other highlighted issue or challenge that they face is that the inadequacy of the facilities that are in school. Where can they wash? Where can they dispose? So these are some of the highlighted challenges that they're facing in classrooms. Next slide. When asked if they understood what menstrual hygiene management meant, 75% said no. They're having their periods at school. They've had their periods starting from 7th grade, 6th grade, but very, very few of them, or a majority of them, do not understand what menstrual hygiene management means. That means they don't understand how often to change their pads, how often they need to wash. And these lead to, in the longer run, when more serious health implications. Next slide. The overarching finding from this survey was that young girls are commenting and also expressing that the current designs or structures and facilities of bathrooms at schools do not meet their hygiene needs. And I do recognize there are some teachers that are present in the crowd. Often there will be some plumbing issues at schools, and most often it's in the girls' bathroom. And the fact is that girls would rather flush their pads in the toilet rather than put it into a trash bin that's open. Because there's also stigma associated with having your period at school. So often, because there's very little understanding of it, there's teasing, there's bullying about when girls are going through this process at schools. And to place your used pad in an open trash bin in a bathroom then subjects yourself or girls to a lot of bullying and teasing. So a lot of the times they'd rather flush it, plug the toilet, causing more facility problems for schools than disposing it properly. These are some of the recommendations that were shared by high school girls themselves. I just want to reflect again that a lot of this was just collected from them. And the number one, I'm sorry, I had imagined me giving this presentation close by to the PowerPoint slide. The number one recommendation that was given by these young girls is that to have free pads available at schools. I think a lot of times as parents, even as administrators or people who do are in decision making, you forget that it's not girls' choice to have their periods. It happens naturally, and as you provide toilet paper and other hygiene materials, that includes menstrual pads as well. Second highlighted me was that to have a nurse available at school. If you remember in the one slide, a lot of them are experiencing pain during school, and it disrupts their learning. And so if you can imagine 3 to 5 days of school that girls are experiencing their periods, they're missing school. That's learning lost. And I think it was also a comment by some of my colleagues that yes, great to have a nurse, but yes, it's also, and we understand it's an expensive part to include in the budget, but then just a general training for all teachers, male and female teachers, to be aware of how to care for girls who are experiencing pain due to the menstrual cycle. And the third one was the highlight that was highlighted by these young women is that to change designs of restrooms, that it be inclusive and considerate of the needs of girls that are experiencing their menstrual cycle at school. This is in short the findings of the study, the survey study that the girls at COM internship immersion had found in administering the survey with young women in high schools throughout the Pohnpei. And we pose this information to you because we understand the significant role that women play in the community as well as in government in changing or in addressing these needs by young women. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, UNICEF, thank you, Dion, and your teams for a very important, very educational presentation. And yes, we do have teachers, mothers that are here with us today. And it's very important, especially with the recommendations that are provided by the students, the girls themselves. So we really would like to again thank UNICEF for taking the lead in especially this type of survey. We often take it for granted that everything is okay. I am a mother of, we have daughters, and it is true that when they do, it's their time, they stay home. And it is important that the principals and the teachers take into account that the rate of absenteeism for young women will be higher than the young men. And this is one of the reasons. And we're very fortunate today. We have the governor, we have the speaker, members of the legislature, the embassy here with us, even the director of health, because these are information data that can be used for when they're putting together the state or the plan for in terms of infrastructure improvement, funding, health, in terms of assisting our young youth. So, child plan, kaya UNICEF, yung nabola presentation. It is 12 o'clock now. On our schedule, we have the lunch that is scheduled. And during the lunch break, we have the Department of Health will be presenting bagi kejailan ni Anson Punyo sa the Connach and so was agjain mo itang iray William Pennymunikan Public Health Mia presentation meron kasali dapat kiyang kejailan ng Barwaj.